You know, I was kind of flabbergasted and kind of floored, actually. A lot of people really like the Spider-Man video that I did, the port versus port one. But what really kind of kicked me was that a lot of people just like had such an unfavorable love for this game. They absolutely loved it. So it kind of made me wonder, and it was inevitable to do. I wanted to do a review of the second Spider-Man. Lo and behold, a good fan of the page, his name is Jake. I'm gonna put his link in the description because you guys gotta give him props. He not only gave me this copy, but let me actually review it. This review is made in part by him, so check him out. He works on cosplay and stuff like that. If you like Berserk, he's working on a Dragon Slayer, so I think you guys will really enjoy that too. So if you are fans of the first Spider-Man game, you will not like to miss this one. It's actually interesting. A couple little things that they changed, so we're going to dive into it. We're going to look at Spider-Man 2, Enter Electro.
Welcome, true believers. Stan Lee here to bring you yet another scintillating tale of superhero derring-do.
A prequel to the original Spider-Man that came on the N64, the PS1, and the Dreamcast. This is Spider-Man Enter Electro that came out on October 19th, 2001 by Vicarious Visions. If you guys don't know who Vicarious Visions are, they basically develop a couple Activision titles such as Star Wars Jedi Outcast, which is one of my personal favorite games, and they're working on Destiny currently. So that's pretty cool to see that they're still in development, working on modern titles and such like that. Like mentioned before, this game is a sequel to the original Spider-Man that came out, and it does add a couple new things. It has a new story, it has a new everything, but of course, to save time and energy, the developers did reuse a couple things, so I will get into that later, but let's start with the story. And the story is a basic Spider-Man premise. You know, basically bad guy does this, Spider-Man saves the day, but to kind of make it a little more specific on what's going on, Electro basically busted up this building. He's looking for this device called the BioNexus, which integrated with him allows him to become a god and add to his electric powers. So he assembled different Spider-Man villains to come together and not only stop Spider-Man, but to get this BioNexus, and of course it's up to Spider-Man to save the day like he always does. Now this game does add a couple new elements into it. We have a couple new combat situations that I want to get into. The music has also been redone by a new team. New environments and story premises have been added to the game as well. Basically, this game does have a bit of a facelift from the original one, but it does reuse a couple things. So we're going to start with the gameplay, and we're going to delve into what new changes have been added on top of the original Spider-Man. So playing the first Spider-Man, you pretty much know exactly what to expect with the gameplay. It still uses the same engine as the previous title, which in turn uses the same engine as Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but this new engine is pretty much the exact same thing, but the developers kind of wanted to up it a little bit, and they added new environments, they added new levels, they added new places to explore, a couple new things that I wanted to get into. First of all, the iconic skyscraper levels, they are still here, but they are a little bit more prominent. Compared to the previous title, which was covered in fog, this game actually has more detail in both its 2D backgrounds and its texture, making the world come a little bit alive, as good as it'll get on the PS1. Combining that, we also have these new ground levels, or these cityscape levels, that we haven't previously had before. Like I said, the game was usually just covered in fog, but this one allows you to go all the way down to the floor and do new heroics such as using a fire hydrant, yanking it out, and burning out the fire that's taking in a little coffee shop, thank God. But of course, to save some time, the developers actually reused a couple assets, such as this level with Hammerhead and his goons. It is pretty much almost copy and paste from the burglar section. A lot of the animations have been used as well, a lot of the models and everything, but of course they added the same animation with new textures and models just to kind of give it a little bit new of a facelift, but more or less you know exactly what you're getting when you're playing the game. Combat is a little bit of the same as you expected. Of course, Spider-Man does have maybe one or two more attacks than he did. He still has his web gloves, his web shield, his web ball. He also has a new web yank attack, which allows him to yank enemies towards him. He also has new fourth punch as well as a fourth kick. And on top of that, we also get new added content. One of the most prominent ones is create a spider mode. What is really cool about this, if you have a specific preference on a costume that you like, you can add whatever powers you want and apply that to the actual game. So when you're out in combat, you can have the Spider-Man 2099 with invincibility and everything that you want. So it's a pretty cool little trade-off that they actually did for this. On top of that, you have storyboards, you have Parker's portfolio, which shows you the art concept in different sections of the game. Little knickknacks here and there, pretty much everything that you expect. The cheat system is also here. The only thing that I do dislike from the added content is actually the spinning headlines because it's blistering loud. So I want you to keep in mind when you're starting new chapters, please, please, please use earplugs because it destroyed mine. Alright, unfortunately, this is where things actually start to go down for the game. We don't have Tommy Tallarico, who made a fantastic soundtrack. The music was actually done somewhat generically by PCB Productions. I don't really have a fix on a composer, I couldn't really get any, but the most notable person on the team was Keith Aram, who is known for doing sound design on BioShock as well as other Activision titles, so he does have a little bit of a repertoire, but when you're listening and playing the game, it is somewhat monotonous and kind of boring. It doesn't really have too much that's going on for it. It does have upbeat moments, but it does lack originality, memorable tracks, and such like that. You do hear some little poppy songs here and there, but to be honest, there was really nothing that caught my eye. It was just somewhat of a forgettable music soundtrack. It was nothing compared to Spider-Man 1, I'll tell you that. But the question that you guys are wondering is, why did we forget? And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of a little conundrum even on me, on why we actually did forget. But there are a couple things about this title that is very notable to talk about. First of all is the date of the title, which is October 19, 2001. If you haven't noticed, this was actually a month after September 11. A lot of changes were really done. If you really want to see the full changes, check out Censored Gaming or Did You Know Gaming. I'll put the links down below, and so you guys can see what little changes that they have actually done to this. But pretty much, this game actually sold 1.5 million, believe it or not, which is not bad. So it did get some credibility, and it did get a greatest hits, which is the copy that I'm reviewing. The only thing to know is that even despite all of this, I don't really hear people talking about it. I don't see it on forums or anything. Maybe I'll hear Spider-Man 1 at the most, but even then, when I hear Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2 is pretty much on the back burner, compared to the sequel that is coming out, which is Spider-Man, which was coming out at April of 2002. That was the one for the Tobey Maguire movie. But even then, it's kind of a conundrum if you think about it. This game sold a lot, yet it's not talked about a lot. Maybe it was forgettable. I don't really know why. Maybe you guys can actually help me on this one. It stumped me a bit. If you guys can give me a little info, by all means, I'm more than glad to hear about it. And if you're wondering a little bit on price too, you're going to be paying about a good 10 to 15 bucks. Sold, complete. It's not really that much of an expensive title. It's fun. It's a good way to spend your weekend and just relax and have a good time. So pick this one up. I think you'll like it. If you like the first Spider-Man title, you'll definitely like this one. It's a fun time, and you're gonna definitely enjoy everything about it.
See, it wasn't that bad, was it? I'm telling you, it's good. Even for 2001 with the PS2 already on hindsight, it's actually rather interesting to see this title come out, and you know, Activision pretty much was promoting it. They were promoting the new Spider-Man game, so to see a late release PS1 title is pretty cool. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys watching. Of course, if you're interested in checking out my other stuff, you can do so. You can check it on my page. If you can, like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me what you guys want me to review. What other ports do you want me to work on? What other new series do you want me to look? And lastly, if you guys can, check out my Twitch page. I'm currently streaming Dark Souls right now. I'm doing a Guts build right now, so if you like that, please check it out. I stream every single weekday at 9 p.m. Pacific time. You can check it down there. It should be all there for you. Lastly, please give some love to Jake. Thank you so much, brother. Without you, this video wouldn't be possible, so if you guys can, give him a like. Look at his stuff. You might like it. I'm pretty sure you will. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to check you out next time.